Time we've all been waiting for, Starlight-12 review. I wanted to hold off for making this. I wanted to test the battery life. I've used it for a month now, so I can comment on that. There's not much that I need to say about this mouse. You've all watched every review. Whether you bought the mouse or not, you want to confirm your purchase was worth it if you did, and you're living in perpetual cope if you didn't, and you want to see all the people say the bad things after they break their own mouse. Let's get into it. It's magnesium alloy. This is the medium size. Get to the scale. 49 grams. Super light, eat your heart out. You are done out here, bruv. No one ever needs to use a super light ever again. This is the new gold standard. So before we get more into the mouse, we can talk about everything that led up to the mouse. Mainly aim gods and the drop. So aim gods, $30, you could play a game, which I personally thought was a cool concept, but the game actually felt trash to play, and they knew that. It was just for marketing, which is fine. So you could have got one for free from that, or you went for the drop. And if you went for the drop, there was very little, which resulted in a lot of cry, a lot of copium. I got to the website and had my iPhone set up with Apple Pay, and I got one. That's all I can say. You didn't get one, that sucks. Did it get botted? Who knows? And then we can get into shipping, which everyone knows was an absolute nightmare. They shipped out all the smalls first, all the mediums second, and then a few straggling orders, sort of combo orders and strange countries that had issues last. So we can only go by what Finalmouse told us. We don't know if it's true or not, but they said they needed to change fulfillment team midway through doing this. The fulfillment team who handled the small did such a bad job that Finalmouse actually collected all their stuff together in one location and did it themselves. And they did do a lot better, regardless of all the criticism that you see online, mainly situated around the Discord. So after the absolute torture of 1 to 2 months of shipping time, depending on what you order and depending on where you live, you're going to get your mouse. It's going to come in this really cool looking box. Unfortunately, it's scuffed back here and all the information is wrong. Everyone's got Zeus mouse, but you know, that doesn't matter. That'll be fixed to the next one. I was lucky enough to get a Final Boy signature on that one, so thank you. You're going to open it, you're going to find your mouse there, you're going to find your dongle, and you got your cable underneath and some information, sort of DPI and recommended use case in terms of charging it and dongle placement and stuff like that. When you pick up the mouse, you're going to think, hey, did they not put the PCB in here? This thing feels hollow and light, but I can assure you the PCB is in there. It's just insanely light. In terms of how the way the mouse feels, you can definitely feel that it's metal. It kind of feels like you're picking up an iPhone and not a mouse. It feels insanely premium. Then when we get into the weight of it, I think once you get down to this sort of weight, especially with wireless tracking, it's just effortless. And when you're doing flicks, it feels like you can adjust your flick mid-travel to accommodate for any movement of the target that you're trying to hit. I did first experience this with M2K, which I haven't used, honestly, since I've got this. I did use it to compare click latency, which we'll get into later. To talk about how this feels in comparison to M2K, this feels the same weight as that. That's 21 grams, and this is 49. So I guess it's overall size combined with weight. I think there is a point of diminishing returns with size, as long as you get the balance right. So I think this is in a pretty good spot. Okay, I'm just going to start rattling off a few things because I don't want this review to run too long, and it's been quite long already. Battery life, I used this mouse for exactly 1 month, and it just turned yellow, which means it's probably about, what, 50%, so I could use it for a lot longer, but I have now charged it up, so with my use case, minimum of a month, that's fine. People complaining about micro USB, you're mental. You're plugging it in, what, every 3 weeks, every month? Who gives a crap what it is? One thing that does infuriate me is, why is the port on this and the mouse the opposite way around? So when I take it out of there, I need to flip the cable around. That's stupid. Maybe you can consider fixing that for the Phantom. It's not really a real problem, but it's like, I don't understand why it's like that. It doesn't make any sense. Click latency. So everyone's going on about ratings, whatever. I don't know how you call it. It's just RTING. Saying this is 13 to 40 milliseconds. It's bullshit. This is 2 to 3 milliseconds. Shout out to Zamkonig server. I was talking to them about it, comparing results. I was doing the slam results where you hit 2 mice together on the clicks and you can see which one actuated faster. M2K was about 6 milliseconds faster. But if you take into account how heavy the switches in this are, the fact it's magnesium, the fact that this is really light and flimsy because it's carbon fiber and it's got really light Japanese on-runs on there, we determined it to be 2 milliseconds, and that's due to the debounce setting that they have on this. So if you miss the pole, it's not going to hit the 2 milliseconds, it's going to be 3 milliseconds. 14 milliseconds is a nonsense, don't need to listen to anything like that. And as you can see from the clips, this mouse has absolutely got my aim goated in a real aim game like CSGO. But now you might be panicking because you're a little shitter and you say, oh, I'm just a fake ex-pro who plays Apex. I'm just a German dwarf who plays Apex. I'm just a guy who sniffs spray paint all day and I play Apex. Or you're a schizo kid who plays Roblox. No worries, I've got some clips like that for you, and here you go. So as you can see, insane tracking on Apex, an extremely difficult game to play, and Roblox. Those kids on iPads are cracked, so the fact that I could hit shots like them back to back is absolutely insane. And those clips did kind of give away a spoiler that somehow I managed this. Now, my majority of my time in the Finalmouse Discord has been trolling, talking shit, and just generally being a nuisance. And somehow I managed to get gifted this for free by Finalboy. I don't know if he appreciates my trolling, if he found me entertaining for the server while there was issues and I'm keeping people entertained. I don't really know, but thank you very much, Finalboy. I really do appreciate that. And this was the kind of hidden gem, because I think I do actually prefer the small to the medium. I did previously find Ultralight 2 a bit too narrow, and it did hurt my fingers, but in the years ish since then, I guess my hands have adjusted and I can use that. Now the real goat is this mouse with the infinity skins. I have taken them off at the moment because they're a bit scuffed, so Finalboy, if you could hook me up with some replacements or let me buy some and ship them to the UK, that would be great. But this mouse is insane. The gold one, I had no QC issues whatsoever. The situation of the QC issues is massively overblown. Although on the smalls there is a big QC issue, which is probably going to happen to everyone, which is with one of the mylar pads, mainly on the right click, slipping off. So I did have an issue where my right click was extremely heavy, like ka-dunk, ka-dunk, which was simple. Undo the screws, take the mouse apart, you find the small little black mylar pad and you put it back into place. I then did make that a more difficult issue to fix by putting glue under it to try and keep it in place, which needed to be sanded down because it needs to be a very strict tolerance to have the click feel right, but that's on me, and now the mouse is fixed. And also the repair guy in the Finalmouse Discord definitely helped me out by suggesting what I needed to do to improve it further, so thank you very much for that. So what's the takeaway? How do we end this off? The takeaway is, for a majority of people, these two are going to be the best mice that you can get. Now there are going to be people who say, oh, that's opinion. Yeah, but some people's opinions are objectively worthless and some people's are worth more. I have both of them. I think they're good. Some people say, oh, that's an opinion. Those people don't have these mice, so they really don't know what they're talking about. And I can just imagine the absolute state of their life living without these, so I do feel sorry for them. We shouldn't ridicule these people any further past that point. If you didn't get one, I can understand that you're going to be angry and you're going to join the group of people who hate Finalmouse. Now that's your decision to make. Finalmouse as a company, they want to piss you off, they want to trigger you, they want all these things because it draws attention. If you can't figure that out, that's a capacity issue. That's your own IQ issue. So if you're not going to buy their mouse because they made a Twitter post 3 years ago that you thought was cringe, that's on you. No one gives a shit. Normal people. The next drop of these is going to be on November 8th. It's going to be a Starlight-12, and it's going to be in a new colorway, which is a Phantom. We don't know if it's going to be a carbon copy of the previous Phantom or a new design, so we're looking forward to seeing that. We also don't really know much in terms of size. I guess it's going to come in small and medium. That's not actually been confirmed yet, so we're going to see. And it also seems like there's going to be a version 2 of the Infinity skins that's going to come with that mouse, so I'm very excited to look forward to that, because right now my preference is a short mouse with width. So I've been using this one with 2mm Infinity skins on both sides. But in a Finalmouse, if you wanted to make the best mouse possible, this mouse is width, this mouse is length. There you go, you're done. Somewhere in between for the weight, maybe 45 grams, 46. That's the perfect mouse. So just talk about the main thing that I do not like about this mouse. There is only really one thing. It's the scroll wheel. The steps of the tactility of the scroll wheel are too high. So when people are saying, oh, my scroll wheel is malfunctioning and it's scrolling on its own, what you're doing is you're scrolling it, and as you see at the end of the scroll, I'm lifting my finger. Because the steps are so high, if you're not at the bottom of one of those steps, it's going to be halfway up or halfway down the next one, and it's going to roll backwards or forwards, putting an input. So it's not a faulty encoder, it's just too tactile. I would like to see that changed. I don't think they're going to change it, but yeah, that's my only issue with the mouse. Price. I nearly forgot the price. People will complain that this mouse is too expensive. For you Americans, I don't care, you have your own issues. This is like £130 once you convert. Viper Ultimate is £150 at retail. G Pro Wireless was £150 retail. In the UK, this is cheaper than both those mice. That's no problem for me. That's great. Obviously, yeah, okay, I have to pay shipping. I had to pay import fees, and that sucks. But that is not the cost of the mouse. That's just the cost of where I live. So the price of this mouse is absolutely fine. So I just wanted to say a big thank you to Finalmouse, Final Boy, Kevin, AK. Those are the main people that I've sort of seen what they do and had interaction with. Thank you for gifting me this mouse. It was really kind of you. You didn't have to do that. Thank you for giving me the ability to buy this mouse with how limited the stocks were. That was great. And just thank you for pushing the industry forward. No one else is trying to do what you guys do. Everyone's just trying to copy you 9 months later. You guys are the innovators, they are the imitators, but somehow they get the praise because you make some cringe tweets. I think the way the community reacts to you is absolutely ridiculous. But, you know, I'm going to see all you guys on November 8th when I'm trying to get the Phantom, and you'll all be there too. And then after that in the Discord, I'm going to be there to troll the absolute shit out of you until my mouse comes. I'm going to trigger everyone and get unbanned again and again and again. Peace out, bitches. And how could I forget? Fuck you, Bodhi.